Hello, it's still almost good morning for me, I'm afraid. We had a lovely evening yesterday, didn't we? And we all got to enjoy some of our product. So many might think that we're actually a brewing company, which some of you will know now that we aren't. We are actually a fintech company in its truest sense. My name is Florian Krueger, the ones that we haven't met yet. I am the CEO of the Craft Coin company, and we're going to spend a few minutes now explaining to you guys what it actually is that we're doing, so that you understand what differentiates us from your average fintech company. And to do that, I will hand over to my friend and our chairman, Florian Bollen, who has previously done some really amazing projects, to explain in a little bit more depth what we're on about, and then have an opportunity afterwards to talk a little bit about the project and answer some questions if you have. Florian.
Yes, welcome everybody, thank you very much for having us, and again, we can only invite you to try our products up on the terrace on the 7th floor. We came to create a craft beer coin company, mostly because our son Felix started a brewery in London, and we looked at this brewery and the success which it's having, and they're kind of the cornerstone of the initial idea behind the whole thing. So I'll show you a few pictures of the brewery and what we're doing. The brewery, which is in a food market, we have about 70,000 people coming into this food market every week. And in addition to the food market, we have a wonderful beer garden in central London, which fits about 1,000 people, and is pretty much busy every day when the weather is out. The weather is good. Lots of live music in the evenings, DJs, a really nice place. As you can see, the beer brewing is happening right where the people are, and this is about decentralized days. What we are doing is decentralized beer brewing, meaning that all the beer which we brew is actually sold on site. You have to come to us in order to get the beer, and the amount of saving for the environment which you can achieve by doing so, by not having to package it, to transport it, to keep it cold, is pretty important to us. Every beer which you buy, every liter of beer you buy in the supermarket, the packaging itself takes about 100 liters per liter beer to produce. And we're saving all of that by having people coming straight to us. The success of this little brewery is pretty mind-boggling. We had an original business plan which said we're going to do some £650,000 turnover per year. In the first year, the brewery did about 1.8 million. This year, we're going to exceed 5.4 million. So we're doing about 10 times better than what we had originally anticipated. I think a lot of this has to do with the quality of the product. People really love the beer, but I think it's also the concept which really works very well, even for London standards. So it's working so well that we are building more breweries. The next one is actually in a church in Mayfair. It's the first ever brewery in a church, and we're going to have the brewery down in the basement in the church. Thank you very much. And what you see here is the altar bar, where we're going to be serving our beer. And a little story about the altar bar: we were looking to find something which plays well with the church environment and being sustainable to do the cladding for the bar. So our boys are actually melting the broken glasses which we have from the beer garden, and they make these nice little tiles out of them, and then that forms the bar. So the soft opening is on Friday this week of this new brewery. If anybody is down there in London, let us know, and we'll get you an invitation. But it's going to open properly next week to the public. The whole situation is that we saw that we need to do something about financing this growth, and many other beer breweries have the same problem. So we looked into history of beer, and we're looking for ways of making that possible. And when we looked into the history, we learned that before beer, there was nothing. There was no civilization. Yeah? The grain which you use to make beer was the reason why human mankind started agriculture. And with agriculture came settlement, with settlement came civilization, religions were formed, and beer, since the old days, it was invented about 10,000 years ago, parallel in China and Mesopotamia, but beer was always also used as a currency. The pyramids, for example, are based and built on beer. Yeah, all the workers for the pyramids were paid in beer. They brought beer home to their families, and this is a thing which I think is pretty phenomenal, because beer is a commodity which is available worldwide, and since 10,000 years had a rather stable value, much more stable than things like gold, which go up and down, or oil prices, or bitcoins, which probably are the least stable of all. Yeah, so if you want to create a good currency, you do two basic things, and the one thing is trust, and in beer we trust. Yeah? In the value of beer you can always trust. So we created a coin which is underwritten by a pint of beer. Yeah? And the same way beer paved the way into civilization, beer is now going to pave the way for cryptocurrencies into the wide world. Yeah? So we are going to create a new way of capitalism, and we're going to establish cryptocurrencies across a wide use case, because we have a proper use case. Yeah? You can take the coin, you get your beer for it, everybody loves coin, loves beer, beer is worldwide available. So the particular problem which we're trying to solve with our beer is the fact that successful breweries sell out, yeah, because they need more capital. Just last year, some of the biggest independent breweries in London sold out to IBM, InBev, to Asahi, and to Heineken. But overall, it is a very interesting market. In London alone, there are more than 200 microbreweries, and the total volume of craft beer is expected to reach about 500 billion in the year 25. So it is something which is an interesting market to look into. So just a quick one on the structure of the coin. The coin holders will own the brewing equipment. Yeah, we have CBCC, which is a holding company, which is going to be located in Liechtenstein, which actually acts as an investor into the breweries. They own the brewing equipment. They have an option to convert into equity, so we can take care of the upside. But if a brewery isn't doing too well, because we hold the asset in steel, which isn't really depreciating, you have a safe underlying asset, in addition to being able to convert your coin into beer at any time. Yeah, so we are distributing 80% of the actual shares of the ownership in the breweries to the coin holders. The management company, Craft Coin Company, holding 20% of the shares. With the shares also comes voting rights. Yeah, so all the coin holders actually can vote through the app if they want to, if we have decisions like which new brewery to invest in and other things. So it's a very unique situation whereby the coin is, on the one hand side, a utility token which has proper utility value, and on the other hand side, because of the ownership in the assets and in the breweries, you're also a security situation. We have lots of breweries which are participating in this coin. In London we have about 5 right now, but we have breweries in China. We have a lot of interest from German breweries. We have breweries in Hungary and in Toronto which want to participate. So we have because the breweries first accept the coin before we issue potentially any new coins for them for their investment. We have kind of front running of the demand for coins before we issue the coins and increase the amount of coins. The amount of coins issued is always limited by the vote by the coin holders. Yeah, but because we have the breweries as our marketing instrument, they're the ones which actually drive adoption and set incentives for their customers to use the coin. We will see that the utility value of the coin will increase much faster than the tokens in circulation. Yeah. In addition to that, because every coin is underwritten by a beer, we never expect the value of the coin to go below £5, because then everybody holds an app. It's actually going to go and buy coins because it gets the beer at a substantial discount. At the moment we have about 10,000 users on the app which are using it every day, and we're seeing pretty much this kind of development, that the coin is increasing but never really going below the £5 value. What we will do is, if the coin increases too much in value and we want to issue new coins, we're going to split the coin, so that if we issue new coins, new investors which come in have the same kind of promise that the value of the coin will never fall below the issuance price. So it's quite a new way of looking at an economic situation whereby the coin holders, the consumers, actually own the production facilities and benefit from it. And it's beautiful because the craft beer industry is a very close-knit industry where people really love to help each other and work together. In addition to that, we have a nice situation that we can issue residency in Malta for people which invest into the coin. So when you invest into the coin, you get a multiple of benefits. A, the value of the coin should go up. B, we can give you the underwriting and the promise that you will always be able to exchange a coin into liquid gold, into a pint of beer. In addition to that, you get benefits of ownership of the breweries or equity, and if you have any use for it, you can get a European passport as well. Yeah, it's super simple to use the app. I think many of you have done it over the last days. Yeah, you just scan a QR code, order your beer, get your wonderful beer and enjoy it. Yeah. If we look at the milestones, we are doing much better than we have proposed here. This chart is about 8 weeks old, but we are already exceeding all of this very much. We are looking to establish something on the beer world, because beer is such a beautiful, clear, single product which everybody can relate to. But we're also looking to do other craft coins, a craft food coin, a craft water coin, which probably is underwritten by a liter of beer. So we're really establishing these different verticals of coins where people which are interested in a certain industry can invest into and benefit from the whole thing. We have a fantastic team, starting here with our CEO, Florian Krueger, some great marketing guys, really good IT people, and an even better advisory board, which I'm running. Yeah, with some really good people from Ernst & Young, good experienced brewers from Fuller's, and Don Yavin, who was one of the original scam hunters in the world, which is good. It's a real advantage for breweries because they can connect with their customers, they can advertise through the app, they can create that community of loyalty and offer specialty deals, in addition to getting access to free financing on very, very good conditions through the money which is raised by the coins. And it's a fantastic opportunity for investors because you have two things. You have the utility value of the coin, yeah, you have the increase in brewery investment. It's a proven business which is up and running and working and doing it every day, a real life project, and I think we have some fantastic momentum, and above all, it's all underwritten by a good pint of beer, which I think if it comes to the worst case, you have to drink your investment, which is probably something which many people would enjoy. That was the overview. Yeah, thank you very much, everybody. We are here to take questions.
Questions from the audience, please?
For the benefits of holding the beer coin?
I'm going to give you the microphone so that everybody can hear the question.
So I want thank you for the great speech. For the benefits of holding the craft coin, you said that one is for the becoming European citizen, and the other one is like owning the equity of the craft beer breweries. What level do you have to hold this coin?
So you asked for the residency?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So you can buy one point, and you are you currently have the utility, right? But since we're also registering in Liechtenstein with the Kanzlei Negde, there will be the security aspects, and we retain the information about every single wallet holder, so that we can then afterwards create once we have the license, then create the securitization, and then give the voting rights, give the co-ownership, the dividends to the people that have tokens. And that's from one token onward. There's no minimum, right? And in terms of the residency for foreign investors, that is something that we don't define. That's all publicly available information on the Maltese government websites. What we accomplished was that we were granted the status of a company that could, because of what we do, could actually issue those proposals and then make sure that the investors would get the rights. And the minimum investment in Malta for residency is 500,000. But when you think about it, then you buy 500,000 pounds worth of token, and you get co-ownership in the company on top of that at that level. Which then means if you resell your 500,000 pounds worth of tokens to one of the exchanges that were listed, then you effectively get the residency for very little. To none. Yeah. So any other questions?
Everything is quite clear.
Okay, fantastic. Well, there's one more question up there. I run up very quick.
So So, in the spirit of liquid gold, do you have like certain levels? Like, so if you buy like 4 coins, which I have, does that mean I'm at the buzzed level? And then if you have like 10 coins, you're drunk. And then if you're over 20 coins, you're shit faced.
We have these kind of levels and they come with benefits, but we name them differently. I'm a god of craft. That's all. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks very much.